Now then, Surrey up and welcome to this video in which we look at the village of Taddington. Chuff me, the aliens are landed. Here we are at the top of Taddy, with the junction of Main Road, School Lane and Humphrey Gate.
Do you remember the name of that pub?
I don't know, no.
That big white building over there, that were Travellers' Rest. I think it last served a pint. Oh, must have been the end of the 19th, early 20th century. Then it turned into a temperance establishment. In 1891, 72-year-old William Needham was recorded as publican and farmer of the Travellers' Rest. He must have been a bit of a lad, because his youngest daughter were noted here as being 13 years old. Good on you, William. It must be said at this point that Mrs. Needham were 52. That's a bit of an age gap, isn't it? St Michael's Church were built in the 1300s, restored in 1891, with bits added in 1939 using material from a 16th century house in Shelley. The cross shaft here probably dates from the 11th century and shows signs that it had once been used for sharpening tools like scythes and sickles. Chuffing medieval miscreants. I say, Verger, no time to be sitting around making the place look untidy. There's work to be done.
Sod off, you miserable old bugger, I'm knackered.
Quite so.
Yeah. Should come out just below the pub and then walk it up the main street.
Yeah, something like that, rather than go up the bank.
Yeah.
The building we're passing on left with the star in. We've got no idea when it started trading, but George and Elizabeth Ibbott were publicans in 1851, again with a fair age gap of 15 years between them. For the 1861 census, James and Esther Mycock, lovely name, were looking after the place, and by 1871 Samuel and Ellen Bennett were entertaining guests, and that remained so in Samuel's case until after the 1901 census. The 1911 census tells us that Edwin and Elizabeth Yates had taken over the tenancy, and that's the last we see at Star. Here we take a few strides up Church Farm Lane. It's an appropriate name because at the end of it's Church Farm. Adie's Lane has Smithy Lane, Lower Smithy Lane and Chapel Lane leading back to the main road. There are others, but I don't know the names, nor do I know the names of the lanes and paths leading away to our left towards the Lynchets, the terraced strip fields and mines now on the other side of the bypass. If anyone can fill in details, I'd be much obliged. While we're strolling down Adie's Lane, there's not that much to see, so it's a good time to mention the main road, formerly known as London Road. It was a relatively late turnpike linking Buxton with Ashford, that's Ashford and the Water, not the one down south, and thereby many destinations radiating from there. Many of the listed structures within the village date from the 18th and 19th centuries, and it's unsurprising that the parish boasted 5 public houses, supporting thirsty locals and weary travellers from the turnpike. The pub we don't see on this walk is the Waterloo. That's half a mile or so to the west of the village on the A6 towards Buxton. Historians reckon the village name's derived from a local bigwig named Tadder, who came to prominence after the Roman Empire contracted. The George Hotel, located at Town End, would have been the first dwelling of any significance seen on the turnpike since leaving the mills of Ashford behind. Again, that's Ashford in Derbyshire, not the one in Kent. It appears to have regularly changed hands throughout its life and ceased trading as a pub sometime in the 1950s.
The bus timetables.
At the top of Town End were mill. What it milled and how it was powered, I've got no idea. If you do know, please let me know. Taddy Hall is a substantial building, hidden by trees and hedges on our right. It's of 18th century origin but contains parts of an earlier building. The Bramwell Memorial Institute, or Village Hall, has a footpath on either side, the uppermost named Donkindale Road. The hall was converted from agricultural buildings in 1907 at the behest of Samuel Bramwell, and in its early years it was run as a social club for men only. Was this club the 1900s version of Dancing Girls and Pole Dancers, or was this a local outlet for the Masons and Oddfellas? Here we approach the Queen's Arms, formerly the Miners, the only remaining pub in the village. That were butcher's shop and cottage on the left. There's an hourly bus service between Buxton and Derby, so if the fancies a look round Taddy, hop on Transpeak. Beside the bus stops the turnpike milepost, 6 mile to Buxton, 5 to Bakewell.
Yeah, the old post office.
That were the old post office on the right. we're back to the top of the village now. The star, the travellers, and the end of our journey. Hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to add your comments below. Please like, subscribe.
Alright.
Hope to see you in another video. Ta-ra!